Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Shadow from SG TCG, bringing you the third round of the locals from last Friday. This time it's a mirror match, Zoro v Zoro. I open up first. I run the dice roll. I chose to go first. I did Nami. I end up grabbing the OP8 Chopper, which on play lets me play out a 3-cost animal card or when it attacks. So you want to see this card when you're able to ASAP. It helps you flood the board. So he also does an Ami search, and he finds the counter event Drum Kingdom, which allows him to search and play out a 3-cost animal card active, which is also great to flood the board early game for Zoro. I swung 5, and he uses the counter event. I really probably best thing would have probably did was to not swing, play out the chopper, see what I get off of life. And obviously, you're going to see I hit the 3-cost chopper that lets me play out a 4K or less attack animal card from my hand in active position. I was going to play the little lion, Komochie, but I played the little lion or the hiking bear instead, which on a Don attached to it lets me buff up one of my other animal cards. So probably would have been better for me to do it this way so that he wouldn't have been able to use the counter event to play out the chopper. The chopper he played is a 3-cost. I think from the starter deck, where if you trash a card, you get to grab a card from the trash, which is a good way to cycle out, the OP8 chopper to continuously try to flood the board. But yeah, probably the best thing would have did was to just pass instead of swing. And then he swings at the chopper. I just counter out for 1K. At this point, we're just messing with each other, but I counter out, so it forces him to swing with Zoro at the chopper. And then he plays out a Rush Zoro right here, you're going to see. And he swings 5 at life. I take it. He never attached the Don to leader, so nothing on his board had a boost. But with 1 Don up, we can already anticipate another Drum Kingdom or, just shut up and come with me event counter card this turn. But this time, I'm going to actually swing out with the entire board, which is the whole point of this deck, Zoro animal package. That chopper is gonna get me more bodies onto the field. I end up swinging 6 at the little chopper. I should have put all the attention toward the Zoro instead. So definitely the wrong thing to attack in my eyes. But the chopper ends up finding me another little lion, which comes into the field rested. Still have 4 Don to play with, so I definitely should have attached the Don to the hiking bear, buffed up the chopper, got him to 7. Swung at the Zoro for 7, which is gonna force out, a 2K from two cards from his hand or the chopper blocker that he just played out. So definitely a misplay on my part. Then I would have been able to swing with the hiking bear at the Zoro if he does counter out or block, which gives me another counter card. So went for the wrong thing. I was trying to clear board, so I just thought getting out the easier target and putting all the pressure on the Zoro, he let it go, but he ends up countering pretty much his entire hand to keep the Zoro alive, which I was not anticipating. But as you see here, I attached the Don and swung 7, and that's where he gave me the 3K out of hand. I'm going to tap 1, play out the Nami that I have in hand to search top 5, and I'm going to find another OP8 chopper. You see, bam, got a hit. I considered on grabbing the Drum Kingdom event card, just so that I can counter out and play out a body active, but it didn't quite go the way I wanted it to, which would have been a great thing to do, because you're going to see, I think I end up searching another one of those choppers, so it would have been great to do. Oh, yeah, it would have been a great thing to do that way. So I passed turn to him. He ends up countering out. I swung with the Nami for 5. He gave me a 1K. And here, he's reading the chopper ability, but that's the blocker chopper. If you attach 2 Don to it, it's going to give my character minus 3,000 when it attacks. And obviously, it's got the 2 Don with the Zoro buff, so it is a 7K swing. So he could basically clear anything he wants on my board, which he's going to aim for the OP8 chopper. That's the most ideal target. If you see that chopper rested when you're facing a Zoro, absolutely take it out right away, so it kind of kills that momentum of being able to flood the board. Or if you're Lucci, pop it. Pop that thing right away. So it swings Nami to Nami, buffs his up to 4. I wasn't going to counter out, so he could have used that Don on something else, but at this point, my entire field is just all little body, so wouldn't make much of a difference there. So he clears the little line, swings at life. I take it, get a Nami, and then I draw into a blocker chopper. So he basically wiped the entire board on his turn. I'm going to start it off with the OP8 chopper so I can start to get more momentum and get more bodies on the field. Oh, well, I swing Nami to Nami. Just the board clear. 7 at the Zoro. I guess before I play out the chopper, I'm going for the board clear right now. And then clear out the chopper with the hiking bear, attaching 2 Don, which is now swinging for 6. Then the chopper comes out. I'm able to play out the 3-4 chopper, and it lets me play out, I believe, the hiking bear that I have in hand. Yep. So back to 5, cleared his entire board. I am set right now. But right here, I think we're at 8 Don at this point, and he's gonna drop a Rayleigh, which you're gonna see here in a second, which completely just threw me for a loop. Rayleigh's on playability. It gives 2 of my character cards minus. One of them will get one. Well, one of them will get minus 3,000. The other one will get minus 2,000, and then you get to pop a 3K or less. So he gives the chopper, OP8 chopper, minus 2, and then pops it, and then the other one minus 3, and then clears it with his leader attack. This Rayleigh is going to be an issue for me because now he's going to be able to swing 9K consistently with his leader buff. I contemplated playing the dragon right here because then it was going to force him to have to swing at the dragon with the Rayleigh and potentially put a lot more Don on it. But I opted not to doing it. It probably would have been one of the better things to do because I could have did dragon, give the 2 Don to my leader, and then put a Don on the hiking bear, and then I could have swung, 5 with both hiking bears, 6 with the leader, and then a 10K swing with dragon, which would have forced either his entire hand to, counter out of the little chump attacks, and then have to take the dragon and leader swing potentially. So that would have definitely been the better play. But I opt into swinging with the little bodies. I still do that. I swing with everything on board, but I think the dragon would have been the better play because then he would have had to divert to it. But all these attacks are still going 3 counters out of the first one. Hiking bear connects, counters out of this hiking bear attack. And then he sees I have 4 Don left, or 5 Don left, so he's anticipating a kid killer. That's what he was talking about. But I was opting to do the Nami search to see what I can find. Potentially trying to find any type of counter. So the chopper and the Drum Kingdom events is what's there, and the Zoro. Again, I'm really considering on taking out the Zoros and swapping them out for the Rush Drum Kingdom animal. The 3 cost 4K body, and then you attach 2 Don and get to Rush. But it also has counter on it, so that's the only thing. And it's more targets to hit off the Drum Kingdom event counter card and the 3 cost chopper. But after that, I grab the Drum Kingdom counter event, I play out the blocker chopper, and I leave 1 Don up specifically for the counter event. And here he finally draws into a OP8 chopper, and he plays out the blocker chopper from it. He's been looking for this card the entire matchup and failed to get it up until the end game. And you're going to see this man sees absolutely every single chopper after this. He plays out Kureha. I was over there admiring the alt art. I thought it was pretty cool. You got the rum bottle and everything. Kureha's effect is an on play. Look at top 4 for either a 2020 chopper or a Drum Kingdom card. So he ends up grabbing the Drum Kingdom event. And then me knowing that he just searched it, I should have known that he did this because you're going to see the biggest misplay by me next turn. But I was just trying to match his energy, which at that point, you just got to reevaluate the decision or, the state of the game and know when to go for endgame, which I knew should have been done, but I decided to do something different. So he attaches a Don to leader, 2 Dons, and he's going to swing 7 at the hiking bear. I do the counter event. I'm going to search top 5, and again, it could play out a 3 cost And the only thing I find is the little lion, but 2 Zoro cards, which with the changes will be an animal hit. So, it's the more consistency is what I was looking for in the deck right now. But clear the hiking berry, clears the other one with the Rayleigh, but I established the body, so I still have 4 potential swings this turn. And I'm finally at 10 Don, and this is where the misplay happens. He only has, I believe, 2 cards in hand, or 3. And I play out Dragon, give my chop or blocker the 2 Don, and then I attach 1 to leader. I should have just divided the Don equally amongst all my characters, swung out, and saved 4 Don for Kid Killer. That way, it gave me, 4 connecting swings, 1 Don on the leader, 2 onto the Nami, which would have swung for 5. So here you're going to see he uses 2 Drum Kingdom counter events, which means he's only left with 1 card in hand, and it was just a 1k counter. So if I would have swung with the Nami first for 5, he could have countered out of that, but then the little line could have potentially connected. I would have probably attached 3 Don, swung for 7. And then 2 Don on the chopper, swung for 7. Leader swing, and then Kid Killer would have been game. But I got greedy, wanted to play the dragon to attach the 2 Don on the chopper because I thought it was going to be the sickest play ever. Because dragon attaching the Don to the chopper lets me use the ability to bring the Rayleigh down and then kill the Rayleigh with the chopper. I was going for style points, not for end game, which is why I ended up losing this match. I should have went for the game there. I had all the cards. He only had 3 cards in hand, me knowing one of them was a Drum Kingdom counter event. So always evaluate the situation. You never know what can happen. And he ends up finding a bunch of OP8 choppers off those searches. So now he's basically set to just swing out. I don't have that much counter in hand, so he's going to swing 7. I take it. I draw 2k. He's going to swing 7 again. I honestly probably would have been better just taking all the swings and then kind of seeing if baiting out his last swing, because I could have potentially got out of it. But I counter out of that for 3. Have to take this one. I have a 2k, and then I think the last card's going to be a 1k, which gets me up to 3k counter. So if I would have took all 3, I think I would have still lost here, but it would have made it a more interesting game. I could have probably won, but by the skin of my teeth. But yeah, he's gonna attach, swing 7, I take it, play Zoro, attach a Don, swing for 8, and that's game. If you guys like the content, subscribe, like the video, comment down below what you guys thought, and catch you on the next one.